Good day, Philippines, and good day, Luzon. Welcome back to The Malayan Pillar, the podcast that dives deep into topics affecting our world today. I am your host, Xavier John de Molanta.
And I am Shane. Today we're focusing on a critical issue that impacts not just journalism but democracy itself, the fight against fake news.
That's right, Shane. In our digital age, misinformation spreads faster than wildfires, threatening truth and trust. It's essential that we shine a light on how journalists can play a significant role in defending against this phenomenon.
Absolutely, Saber. The responsibility lies heavily on journalists to provide ethical reporting and factual checking. These principles are vital in ensuring that the narratives we consume are not only accurate but also robust against the rise of fake news.
Fake news is more than just false information. It's a weapon that can mislead the public, influence political outcomes, and stir up violence. Remember this misinformation campaigns we've seen in recent years during election cycles. It's disturbing how a single deceptive narrative can sway public opinion.
And that's why the role of journalists is paramount. When they adhere to ethical standards, fact-checking their sources and refusing to be swayed by sensationalism, they fortify our democracy. But we must also recognize that combating fake news isn't solely their job.
Exactly. It's a shared responsibility. We as consumers of information have a pivotal role in this fight. Every time we encounter potential news, we should be asking ourselves a few critical questions, like, is this from a reliable source? Is it backed by credible evidence?
And let's not forget about the emotional triggers. Misinformation often aims to provoke outrage or fear. If something seems designed to elicit a strong emotional reaction, that's a red flag.
It is essential that we promote media literacy, not just among adults, but also in schools. If we can educate young people about how to evaluate information critically, we can foster a generation that is less vulnerable to misinformation.
Social media platforms also have a role to play here. They need to enforce stricter measures on disseminating misleading content and ensure that users are educated on recognizing credible journalism versus propaganda.
That's a great point, Shane. It's not just about the reporters and platforms. It's about building a culture of accountability among all of us. We must all be responsible for what we share.
And let's emphasize this again. Before hitting that share button, take a moment. Ask if you're passing on verified information or perpetuating a harmful deception.
In today's climate, we stand at a crossroads between propaganda and truth. It becomes incredibly vital to defend our right to accurate information.
And while we're at it, let's be clear on what we won't tolerate. Creating or sharing content that involves hate speech, violence, or any form of harassment. They contribute to an environment of misinformation and division.
Well said, Shane. As we wrap up today's episode, we encourage our listeners to take proactive steps in this fight. Stay informed, think critically, and always verify before you share.
Thank you for joining us for this vital conversation. Think together we can protect truth, democracy, and trust in our communities.
Until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and remember, truth matters. Goodbye.